Take a look at how to create and modify a pivot table chart. Notice currently I'm on the Invoices tab, and I also have another sheet out here called Sheet 5. To create a pivot table chart, you'll go ahead and select the pivot table, and after you create the chart, you will go ahead and see a new sheet tab down here at the bottom. I'm going to click in the middle of my data that I'd like to work with. I'm going to come out here to the Insert tab, and from the Pivot Table button under Tables, I'm going to go ahead and choose Pivot Chart. It selects the data for my table. I'm going to dump this on a new worksheet. I'll click OK, and just like before, we see a brand new pivot table. We see our field list on the right, and also have a brand new chart over here in the middle of my screen. Now, to load the chart, I could come out and just click on items that I'd like to go ahead and organize by. I'm going to go ahead and click Company, Salesperson, Ship Date, and Quantity, and automatically I see that listed over here on the chart in the middle. To delete the pivot table chart, I could come back and click on the Sheet tab, right-click the Sheet tab that contains the chart, choose Delete, choose Yes, and I'm right back on my data. Still another way to create a chart would be to just come out and create a pivot table first. I'll click in my data, I'll choose Insert Pivot Table, I will click OK. I get a brand new pivot table and a brand new sheet. I will come down here and I will choose Salesperson, and I will choose Quantity. And I see those two items listed down in the axes and also in the values area. I will come out here and select my data for just my employees, leaving off the labels at the top and the totals at the bottom. I will then come out, choose the Insert tab on the left, and I will choose Charts Group, and under the column I will just choose the first item out here, and I get a brand new chart out here. Either way you'd like to go, you end up with a pivot table chart. I will go ahead and change the chart title. I'll select this, and I can change the label. As in a previous example, let's go ahead and add a report filter to do a master filtering scheme to filter by the country and then the product name. I will click on country and drag it down here to the report filter. I will click on the product name and drag it down below the country. And I see the two filters up here at the top left of the pivot table. I also see them up here in the top left corner of the chart. I would like to display the data in my chart by only one country and one product. Under the Country tab, I'll click the drop down arrow and I will choose Germany and click OK. I will also come under Product Name and I'll choose Aniseed Syrup and click OK. And now I'm seeing just the country Germany for the product aniseed. Now, although you can't see that in the chart, you can see this above the pivot table on the left. If you'd like to hide the labels on the chart so that they don't take up room on the chart and they don't display, you could click on the chart, come out to your Pivot Chart Tools Contextual tab, click on Analyze, and come out and click on Field Buttons over here under the Show Hide. And at the very bottom you can just say Hide All, and that will hide all your labels on the chart. I'll uncheck that to show those again. And I'll make a change to my country. I'll go ahead and choose Brazil for my country. And for my product name, I'll choose Chang. Next, I'll change the type of chart I'm using. Under the Contextual tab at the top, I'll click on Design, and I'll come out here to the left and choose Chart Type. Under the Chart Type, under Column, I'm going to choose the fourth entry out here called 3D Clustered Column, and I'll click OK, and I see my chart change. Under Chart Styles, in the More button, I'll come down here and choose a different color scheme for my chart. If I'd like to see two different styles of charts representing the data, I could grab the chart, possibly maybe move it over to another side of my spreadsheet. I will come out here on the top left corner. I will hold down the chart and drag, and as I drag, I'll hold down my Control key. I will let go of my mouse first, then my Control key, and now I have two charts representing the data. From here, I could choose one of the charts, go back to Design, and choose a different type of chart to represent the data. Perhaps I'll come out and choose a line chart, and I'll click OK. If you'd like to have an image of your chart back on your data, you could click the chart and then right-click and choose Copy. From here, you could go back to, say, the Invoices tab. I could right-click on one of my tabs and choose Paste Special, and under Paste Special, I'll choose a graphic that I'd like to go ahead and place. I'm going to go ahead and just choose a JPEG, and I'll click OK, and it just dumps a picture of my chart right on my data back on the first sheet, Invoices.